Hey, listen, you gotta watch this video and be very quiet while you watch it. It says something positive to do with Donald Trump. So that means YouTube could take this down any minute. Make sure word does not get out about this video. We know YouTube is extremely biased. You look at the trending pages, it's all negative Donald Trump stuff every single day, okay? Now, before you guys get all excited, all you Republicans out there, I'm not rocking with you. I'm not rocking with you Democrats either. I don't like any of you guys. You know me, if you've been on this channel long enough, you know I hate politics. I absolutely hate politics. The only time I try to pay attention to politics is when it affects me and my money. That's when I do it. And when does it affect me and my money? When it comes to regulation, deregulation, and when it comes to taxes, okay? So, taxes is what we're talking about today. Trump just came out with his new plans, his new tax plans and whatnot. So first thing is, none of these are concrete. None of these may go through. We might still be under Obama's tax plan come next tax season. Who knows, we could be on it forever. We don't know. So these are just some things that they're trying to do that maybe could go through. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that these things go through, guys. And I'm going to explain to you why these are not just vital for me, but vital for you guys out there. And I think game changers with some things, guys, and why I'm a big cheerleader for some of these plans we have going on here, okay? The first one is the married exemption, okay? There's a personal exemption, married exemption out there for everyone, okay? The personal exemption right now is around $6,300, $6,350 if you're a single person. That would get bumped up almost to double, right around $12K, right? The married exemption, which I'm married, okay, would go from around $12,700 to around $24,000, meaning basically on your first $24,000, you don't even have to pay taxes on that. That is a beautiful thing. So that right off the bat, I'm a cheerleader for, okay? Now, how would this kind of be offset or whatnot? Something they would get rid of is currently if you pay state income taxes, you can write that off against your federal taxes, okay? So let's give a scenario here. I live in Nevada, okay? You know, I live here in Nevada. I live in Las Vegas where it's freaking hot, right? And the part of the allure for me is no state income taxes. However, it's not as good as it seems, okay? So picture me, I'm out there running up a mountain, it's 120 degrees, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm burning up, it's so freaking hot, but man, I live here and I got no state taxes, so that makes me feel good. Then the guy that's living on the beach in Malibu, he's out there running, he's like, oh yeah, you're running 120 degree heat, it's 75 out here and I'm running on the beach in this beautiful weather with these beautiful homes right here. And guess what? It's not as good as it seems because I can write off my state income taxes against my federal taxes. And then I'm like, wait, why am I even living out here? Maybe I should just move over there where the weather's nice all the time, okay? That's an issue because basically some states are subsidizing other states. So Nevada or Texas or the ones that don't have state income taxes, they're subsidizing these other states, okay? That basically the people can write it off against their federal taxes, so then they pay less in federal taxes than somebody should that's living in another state that's got different tax rates. So this makes states much more competitive. If you take away that tax loophole, that makes states much more competitive and want to compete for you to live there, which in my opinion is a phenomenal thing. When you get states competing for jobs, states competing for people to live there, it benefits us all in a way bigger way than somebody taking advantage of this way or that way, guys. So I think that in itself is a huge thing there, and everybody getting a much bigger exemption. That's just good for us all, and especially if you're in the middle class or if you're in less than the middle class, right? Second part is, I have 2 kids, right? Child tax credit would be possibly bumped up to around $2,000 a year per kid. Right now it's around $1,000. I'm like, $1,000? Does anybody have a clue what a kid costs? Heck, my kids are probably more expensive than I am, and look at the exemption I get versus what my kids get. I'm like, this doesn't even make any sense. So the fact that it would almost be double, also a very good thing, right? And to help out a massive amount of families in this country that are struggling or need a bigger tax credit with their children, right? I know people that have 4, 5, 6 kids. It's like, you know, it gets expensive, right? The third part is is LLCs would be taxed at about a 25% rate. I'm a huge fan of this because with my LLC, for instance, if I'm paying personal taxes in 2019, 2020, I'll be entering into the 35% tax rate, which is like the most expensive tax, or the highest tax rate there could be, right? For the people that make the most amount of money. However, since I'll be making my money through the LLC, I could be taxed at a maximum rate of around 25%. People may say, well, that's not fair because, you know, if you're a CEO of a company, you pay 35% tax. You know, a CEO of let's say, you know, a public company or something, or a C Corp or something. However, me, this kind of the CEO of my own LLC, I could pay a 25% tax rate. I think that's good because we should incentivize entrepreneurs out there. We should incentivize people to go start businesses, to go make a job rather than fill a job. And here's the reason. The majority of jobs that are created out there are created by small and mid-sized business owners, okay? The people that start businesses. The corporations don't really create crap for jobs. They don't. Look at a company like Apple. This company has over $200 billion on its balance sheet. Does it go out on a humongous hiring spree and says, we're going to hire 1 million people next year? Because they could easily afford it. They could easily afford to hire 1 million employees next year. Absolutely not. What do they do with their monies? They use them for share repurchases. They use them to pay out dividends to the shareholders, okay? And if they don't use it for that, and I'm talking, this is the majority of big companies out there, they don't use it for that. They acquire other companies, and guess what? They get cost synergies, and they end up cutting jobs from those other companies. They get cost synergies from that, and it makes them even more profitable. And where do they stick those profits? Not in more and more employees. They stick it in more and more share repurchases, more and more dividends getting paid out. So that's a huge issue in itself because you're not really promoting more jobs. It's the small business owners, okay, that are the ones that are really creating the jobs out there. So that's something to take into account. So anytime you can make states more competitive and give people all bigger exemptions, anytime you can give you know, people that have children a bigger tax credit, right? And anytime you can incentivize entrepreneurship over just getting a job or something, I think that's a good thing in the end, guys. I think that's a good thing. So this tax plan has me super excited. I'm just not convinced it's going to get through. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't have faith that Trump can get this through. I really don't. He hasn't proven he can get anything through right now. So it's exciting and I'm pumped about it. I'm like, I hope this gets through. I'm not getting too excited because I'm not sure it's even going to get passed, guys. I'm not sure it's going to get passed. Or maybe these numbers are much smaller. Maybe it's like a $1,200 extra instead of $2,000, or maybe it's, you know, maybe $15,000 now instead of $24,000 or something like that. So I'm not convinced it's going to get passed, but if it does, I'm all for it. This tax plan is much better. And some people try to say, you know, well, it could do something to our budgets and whatnot. And usually that comes from the liberal side. And I'm like, dude, you can't, if you're on the liberal side, you can't say anything about federal deficit or anything. Under Obama, he added up the federal deficit more than all the presidents combined in the United States history, okay? And we didn't get a heck of a lot for it. We didn't. I mean, the stock market in 2007, it was at 14,000 something when he left. It was at, what, 18,000? That's not a very good gain. Let's see, you know, look at the growth rates in GDP. Look at where wages went. Like nothing did anything. I mean, it was a pretty, you know, a crap economy, I like to call it. You know, very just okay. You know, things are just barely okay. We never had experienced strong growth or anything, guys. So, you know, if the deficits do go up, maybe this plan will actually work. Why not try it? Why not try it? It's better than you know, going under the same thing we've been going under, in my opinion, guys. So let's see how it works out. Let's see if it even gets passed. But that's why I'm excited about it. Just want to share with you guys. I hope you're excited as well.